comes right off super clean, you know?
Kind of like a mandarin or tangerine would.
Kind of like a mandarin or tangerine would, but the size is more orange, and the flavor is a mix of orange and mandarin together.
Have you ever like had a tangerine or mandarin tree around that you like go and grab from?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that shit is cool because you don't see like you see a lot of orange trees. I mean, we are the Sunshine State. That's like that is our fucking fruit is oranges, right? Which is weird. I used to eat a lot of oranges as a kid. My mom would always have oranges in the house. She'd peel them and do the whole thing. Give me a couple. Nowadays, not really.
You know what happened though, right? Why it's like that?
What?
Because all the basically orange groves died in Florida. The reason being of this, I think it was like an Asian, if I'm not mistaken, like a Chinese moth that somehow got
really
here and destroyed all the trees. Damn. It's like a white moth that basically like destroys these trees.
Damn, I wonder if that's what happened with Cuba.
No.
I don't know because Florida was known...
Castro. That moth is called Castro.
It's called communism.
Yeah. So there was a place. So I think it was like Orange Grove or something like that. It was up in up on Seminole when you going all the way down towards the beach and then the road kind of splits towards the beach or towards Veterans.
Gotcha.
They're right there. They had a fresh place. They would squeeze orange by gallons. You would go and buy the gallon. It was like $5 for a whole gallon. If you didn't drink that in 2-3 days, it would go rancid because it had no preservatives, nothing in it. It was just
like the shit from that. My mom gets it from Sam's Club. Sam's Club they do fresh squeezed orange juice.
I didn't know that.
It's fire.
Yeah,
it is.
And
so
that was
good
the
because
only one that would not give me heartburn, bro.
Yeah.
Because every other orange juice gives me heartburn.
Get. Aren't you glad that I'm here?
Aren't you
you can get it at Sam's Club, bro. It's 100% juice. Like it's just all squeezed from the orange,
try that.
And it's really good and sweet. It doesn't taste like artificial sweetness. It's just sweetness from the orange. That shit is good, and it actually stays good for more than 2 or 3 days. I would say. Yeah, I don't. Maybe because they're using those GMO ass oranges.
Maybe because this orange, literally, bro, you would drink this. It was so delicious. It would not give you any heartburn or anything. It was great to mix. But 2 to 3 days, well, maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe 3-4 days, 5 days. It'd go rancid like that.
You can tell like these orange juice that you get from Sam's Club too. It even has like you can tell it's like a tag that they put on it that they print in house. This is not like a product that they're getting from somewhere. No, they're squeezing this shit.
I've seen the machines. I just never got
it. They're squeezing that shit in-house at Sam's Club and bottling it, tagging it, and selling it there. It's fucking good. And, my mom has used it as a hack because she's hasn't been eating sweets and stuff like that. The only time she'll have sugar is if it's 100% natural, meaning no added sugar. She won't have anything that has added sugar to it. And that's been one of her, like, go-tos to kind of get her sweet tooth off a little bit is that orange juice.
Bro, that's...
And I told her, I said, Mom... One day, I gave that orange juice to somebody, and she goes, "Why are you giving that one, not the other one?" And I said, "But that one's good." And she goes, "Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying, why did you give him that one, not the other one?" I go, "Mom, just drink orange juice. It's like that one's the better one. We're gonna drink that one, and then we'll see what we have afterward." That's the only one I can drink. I go, "What do you mean? That's the only one? Just like a million orange juices in a drink." And she's like, "No, that's the only one that I can drink because of it's no added sugar."
But see, the thing is with fruits, a lot of people don't realize fruits.
I know exactly where you're going with this. The whole thing of like, basically like, I had 20 oranges in my glass of orange. Yeah, you're not supposed to have 20 oranges.
Yeah, not even that far. Not even that far. But like what I was gonna say is, fruits have this thing called fructose. It's not sugar. So the way fructose happens, it's the first digested version of sugar. When you take glucose and the first step in digestion, it becomes fructose. The only problem with fructose is your body does not know how to store fructose. So it literally has to use fructose first before it uses any other sugar. So if you had any type of sugar throughout the day, that goes directly into the fat glycogen storage immediately. You don't digest it, becomes fat, and you digesting that orange sugar. Now, that kind of drink is like people that do pre-workout.
Yeah.
Try doing that instead of pre-workout, because what it does, pre-workout will give you that and then it dumps. This is more like even keel, and then it doesn't give you that extra spike, but it keeps you all, and then you don't get the crash.
I hate fucking
pre-workout crash.
Not the crash. I hate the tingliness.
Like
when your fingers get tingled. When your fingers get tingly and like you can feel that shit all over you. You kind of like. It almost induces like anxiety as well. I feel like Like you kind of feel like outside of yourself when that shit starts to take over. I don't like it, man. I never liked it. I remember when I used to go to the. I mean, you remember I used to go to the gym a lot with your brother and Josue and Jorge.
Yeah, they're all like they're doing the C4.
They were all doing. Yeah, it was C4 at that time. Was like the biggest one.
Yeah.
You know, before they even made energy drinks, they just had the fucking powder for pre-workout. I used to hate that shit, man.
Yeah, no, it's disgusting.
I would do it every once in a while when I was like, damn, I'm fucking tired.
That's how I fucking stopped drinking caffeine, is because one time back in the day there was this thing called Red Line. These energy drinks, Red Line. I drank 3 of them right before my shift, and that fucked with my system. And damn near got a fucking heart attack working in a restaurant because I didn't get a lot of sleep. I think I went out that night or whatever.
We know somebody who at 24 years old of age had a mini heart attack from drinking 2 or 3 Red Bulls or Monsters a day.
Yeah, dude, it's really bad. So I don't do any caffeine now because of that.
You know, a lot of people talk about how like caffeine can be good and bad for certain ways. My whole thing is like if I see someone drinking coffee, I can see someone drinking 3 coffees a day and I won't think twice about it. Yeah. But then you drink like 3 Monsters a day and I'm like, yo, your heart's gonna fucking go crazy.
Well, Miggy, can you pull up real quick how much caffeine is in a cup of coffee?
And while he does
like,
that,
just do espresso.
We can finally do an intro. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us for the GhettoRig podcast. We know we started a little differently than we usually do today. But
Episode
thank
221.
221?
Yeah.
All right. For those who don't know, my name is Eddie. To my left, we have my co-host Jay. And as you heard, we have Miggy behind the camera looking up coffee facts for us. How much caffeine is in a cup of coffee? This is 95 milligrams. This is your average cup that you're talking about, a.k.a. probably your American cup of coffee.
And an average energy drink has 200
200, even sometimes 300.
Yeah, if you get the bigger one, and people will smack down 3-4 of those. So technically, drinking 3 cups of coffee a day
is still not as
whatever.
Bad,
You're getting about 300 milligrams of caffeine versus like 1 drink, and you do 3 of those a day. That's like fucking overdosing like whole gram of fucking caffeine.
I think it's not even mostly just the caffeine. I mean, you have all the other things that are put into energy drinks,
taurine and all that other shit,
to kind of like quote unquote help the effect of the caffeine kind of take place. And I feel like it's, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I love doing caffeine. Yeah, Catherine sometimes is nice to do.
Hey, there's sometimes Trixie. You never know.
Trixie. You can't forget about Trixie.
You can't leave her on the back burner.
Well,
but I think Trixie's more of a back burner. Like, she's always, like, consistent.
She's just on the roster.
But she's always there. She's, like, the most reliable one.
You know when they have, like, first line, second line, third line? She's definitely third line.
Yeah, she's, like, the third line defense. Yeah. Like, that's a slow Wednesday, I think. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to do on Wednesday.
More like
Trixie.
More like you're like, it's like 2 a.m. on a Sunday night. You've already tried or Sunday morning. You've already
Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night, Sunday morning, 2 a.m. It would technically be Sunday morning. And you got no other.
You've already tried every avenue.
Everything else.
And then Trixie comes through.
Well, Trixie's always working at 2001 Odyssey. She's always there on Saturday night, bro. Sunday morning. She's always there. So.
You don't even have to share the location.
Yeah, bro. You know her schedule.
Very reliable. Shit. Always on time.
So here we'll go into something we wanted to bring up today, guys. So.
Yeah, the boy's been fucking watering my mouth proverbially. Pause.
That's a fucking strike.
Pause.
That's a strike.
Hey, if you say pause, strike. That's good.
No,
you good. You pass.
So we in the office we have strike, and then when you say something like that, you say no strike, and then you say it. Sometimes it's still a strike. You can't. So
I've been salivating because of these news you've been giving.
Sometimes I hit the player intentionally.
Yeah, see it exactly, and you can't just act like it didn't happen. All right, so today there's a bunch of news going around in the fishing world because there's a famous charter captain, and this was somebody.
Just give the background a little bit more, like you gave me.
Yeah. So
get their mouths to water a little bit.
So basically, this charter captain is extremely famous. Apparently, I mean, I didn't know about him, but apparently,
he's local. He's local.
Yeah, he's kind of like a local famous guy in Florida doing charters. He apparently is really good at tarpon charting, which, for those who know about fishing, tarpon is one of the hardest fish to catch consistently.
Rock Horner.
There are days you can go out looking for tarpon for 8 hours, and you will not catch a single one. So
a violation of probation of community control. Okay.
Yeah. So he's.
Okay, so let's go down the list here.
So we're gonna
get into the story.
Yeah.
So we have some backstory on him. All right. Now it's full screened.
All right.
Rock Horner. Number 1, violation of probation or community control. Number 1 DUI, unlawful.
So these are different charges, by the way, because you can see on the bottom. So this is dated 4/5/2014. Then you have this one dated 4/6/2010, disorderly conduct.
Well, 2010, 2009, he was a kid back then, right? Because if he's 40 right now, so that's 15 years ago. So he was 25 years old, 20s, early 20s.
DUI amended.
Violation.
Community control. Violation of probation of community control. Non-moving traffic violation. Driving while license suspended. First offense. Traffic offense. DUI, alcohol or drugs.
Jesus.
Felony battery. This is the one that
Weapons
gives the
on
most.
School grounds.
Damn, 2003. So this was him still in high school, probably.
2003. Now we're talking 22 years ago. He was 18.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's still in high school. That's probably why the whole school grounds. Damn, bro, he's just a troubled guy. Petty theft.
Stolen property.
Oh, okay, so there's him, right? So you can see this guy, as I said, is a very famous charter captain.
Well, go back. Let's read. What does it say over there in the first one? Yeah, what does it say right here?
This is just a kind of like a thing for his website. So this is his website. Welcome to Tarpon Coast Fishing Charters with Captain Brock Horner. We are a premier fishing guide service that strives to provide only the highest level of satisfaction to our customers. We fish for tarpon 12 months a year.
Okay, cool.
Which is kind of weird because
that's a badass boat. I mean, that's what, about $100,000 boat or
more.
70 at least? More.
If it's brand new, more.
This is just Blabo.
Yeah, okay, so this is just going on and on. It looks like we've gotten some other posts from other people here. These are just memes about him. So, without further ado, play the motherfucking video.
You like that?
Brock Horner, I'm the captain now. Basically, so this guy's very famous, and he made a very big mistake. I think this was yesterday or maybe even today, this morning. And it has costed him his career completely. This guy is done for. I mean, his business page has been taken down. He's more than likely going to lose his charter license. You know, it's not going to go well for him. And this is exactly why. Go ahead and give us the video, Miggy. I'm going to give us sound as well. Put these on, Jay, so you can hear what he's saying. It's definitely important to see what he's saying because it is pretty fucking wild. All the shit.
What, like 5 in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and restart it, Miggy. Restart it so we can hear what they're saying from the beginning. Thank you.
The other morning?
What, like 5 in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cussing me out?
Nah, that was the dude in that boat. Were you the one that came through the middle of the bridge? Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I was here, but you ran in front of the other dude over there. Bro, you ran right through the middle of the bridge while we were all fishing.
In the middle of the fucking night, the guy didn't have any lights on.
Bro, we were all fishing here. The fucking.
He didn't have any lights on.
All right, bro. I'm not gonna do this with you, bro. I'm not gonna fucking do this with you, bro. Like, it's not the right time, bro.
You know the laws?
Bro, you can't come flying through the middle of the fucking bridge, bro.
Bullshit. Yes, I can.
All right, bro. What are you trying to do, bro?
What am I trying to
What are you trying to do, bro?
You want to fucking go?
I don't want to fucking go. I want you to get the fuck out of here.
The big tough guy?
Tough guy? You pulled up on me, motherfucker.
Yeah,
This kid is having the perfect reaction.
Nah, shit. I'm fishing, you fucking. Like, bro, get out of here. Like,
Beep,
what?
beep,
What are you
beep,
trying to
beep,
do?
beep.
Act like a tough guy in front of your buddies?
No, I'm not. Dude, all these motherfuckers know I'm tough, motherfucker.
Bro, all right, bro.
You know what?
Get going, bro.
We're all fucking war veterans. We're all raised.
Well, thank you for your service, bro.
And you're gonna talk shit.
Thank you for your service, bro. But that doesn't give you the right.
Million pussy ass fuck.
All right, bro. All right, whatever. I appreciate you for your service, bro. But you don't got to run through the middle of the bridge, bro.
Dude, if your guy doesn't have his fucking lights
That's
on,
not my guy, bro. That's just another fucking dude, bro.
you have to have lights on.
My lights were on, bro.
Motherfucking lights.
My lights were on.
Somebody hits you, guess what the fuck happens? You die, nothing happens to me.
Right, okay, bro. Keep thinking that.
No, that's the fucking truth, dude.
All right, bro. Keep thinking that.
Put your fucking lights on.
Bro, my lights were on. I wasn't sitting there. Okay, that's not my dude, bro.
Cuss me the fuck out for it.
Bro, I said, bro, you almost fucking hit him. The other dude was fucking cussing you out.
I almost hit him because he didn't have his motherfucking lights
Bro, you shouldn't come flying through the middle of the bridge. You know people fish here, bro. I'm sorry, man. I don't know if that's what you want to hear, bro.
Yeah, you should apologize, motherfucker.
But, bro.
You're on the water more than you can possibly fathom in your wild
Me.
This
motherfucking
guy's
Me
got
too,
wife
bro.
issues at home.
I'm out here all the time, bro.
I'm 300 days a year on the motherfucking water.
All right, bro.
Every day, I'm the best charter captain you'll ever meet in your motherfucking life.
All right,
If
bro.
you cuss me out,
Chill, bro. Chill,
What's on
bro.
the boat?
Please, bro.
don't hit the fucking fire.
Please,
on the
okay,
guy's
please,
boat.
bro.
Huh?
Please,
He's
bro.
on the boat.
Please, bro. Bro, I'm a kid, bro. Please.
Apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
You're gonna cuss me the fuck out.
All right, bro.
In the middle of the
No, bro. Please, bro. Please,
Get back to my
bro.
boat.
Okay. Please.
Fucking apologize.
I'm sorry, bro. That was not me, bro.
Yes, it was,
I know I
motherfucker.
was here, but my buddy was
Take
on the
me
boat.
back to my
Yes,
fucking
sir.
boat.
I'm a kid, bro. Please, bro.
I don't care. You don't cuss me
Yes,
the fuck
sir.
out.
All
and
right.
talk shit to me, motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
You don't do it.
I'm sorry, man. I wasn't like cussing you out,
Yes,
though, bro.
you were, dude.
I was driving the boat.
Did
Okay.
you not call me a fucking faggot?
No, bro.
Yes,
that
you
was
did,
my
motherfucker.
friend on the. Okay, I'm
Okay,
sorry, bro.
That was your friend on the boat.
I'm sorry, bro.
You and your motherfucking friend are look at it and come
Yes,
on your
sir.
boat and fuck you both up.
Yes, sir.
Do
I'm-
it again and watch what fucking happens. Don't fucking do it again.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I appreciate y'all, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Fuck with the wrong motherfucker, man.
Bro, yes, sir.
Should have just told him, eat my dick, and then ran off.
Huh?
He should have hit him with the eat my dick, and then ran off. Alright, I think that's good. I mean, I think the it looks like the video
Well,
stopped there.
He deserves whatever fucking coming to him. Especially
So-
if the kid is, you know, if it's right, if that's exactly what happened, then fuck him.
So apparently, the guys that were on the boat. This is what I heard. I may be wrong. That were on the boat with the charter captain. He's saying like, "Oh, we're all service people," but
Yeah.
apparently they were clients.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, if they're clients, I understand why they probably didn't get in between it. You know, it's very weird to have that happen while you're like paying for a service. But if they were his buddies, like he's making it seem like in the video, those are some shitty ass friends. Those are like some extremely shitty ass friends, if you ask me, because
No, they were
Bro,
not friends, bro.
yeah, I don't think so.
Because that guy was trying to hold him back at first and continue talking. I was like, whatever, fucking
Yeah.
just do it. And
Yeah.
I didn't pay for this.
and then in the end, all they say is like, get back on the boat.
Yeah.
If they were his friends, that's some fucked up friends, bro. Like imagine
I don't
if
think
one
it
of
was
us
his
was
friends.
doing
He was
that
just
and
saying it.
none of us would like stop each other. You know what I mean? Like
No, they were not friends. They
I
were
don't
just
think so
probably
either.
people that
They-
paid for it.
yeah. Even worse though, like in the actual retrospect of like the situation, they're clients on his fucking boat and he's doing this dumb shit.
And did he lose his license though?
I mean, this
He
just
lost
happened.
everything.
This just happened. So this is within 48
I
hours.
don't know if
or
he's
so.
gonna lose his license though.
Yeah,
'cause
he
I mean,
will.
you
Yeah, he
think
will.
so?
Yeah, he will.
Why?
They're
What's the
extremely
cause?
They're extremely strict about charter captain licenses and stuff like that.
But what's the cause? I mean,
Well, first of all, what he did was illegal, boarding someone else's vessel, right? Without permission, right? So there he just committed.
is there a
crime.
rule like that? Can you pull that out?
Yeah, you can't jump on someone else's boat, bro.
You can.
Especially he did it in such
State
an
of Florida.
yeah.
That's state of Florida.
He said he did it in such an aggressive manner that it would be viewed as like threatening.
Yeah, but I mean, he went in there. He didn't really do anything. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
but
more of
it's
jumping onto another boat can be illegal, especially if it endangers the safety of those on board or violates boating regulations such as careless or reckless operation.
yeah.
Well, he wasn't recklessly operating. He parked clearly.
He's the captain of his boat.
No, I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah,
You know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
trying to let you know is he's the captain of his boat with clients on that he abandoned. That is reckless as fuck.
And he jumped onto another guy's boat, which
Yeah.
is very close to the bridge.
Yeah,
to
you can
basically
even hear it in the
hit him.
video. He says, "Don't hit the piling," because when he jumps on the kid's boat, the kid took off, right? And they were right next to that bridge, and you can even hear the captain say, "Don't hit the piling" to the kid.
Well, the kid could get in fucking trouble too for fucking speeding up like that.
Nah, I don't think
The
so.
guy was in danger.
Yeah, the guy fucking threatening and screaming at him, and Joseph jump on his boat. What else would he do?
He was lucky the kid wasn't packing, because it would have been pew 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 very quickly.
Very quickly. Very, very quickly. I mean, that's what I told one of the guys at the office. It's like, if it was me, the moment his foot hit the boat, I would have had a fillet knife in his stomach.
No, yeah, it'd have been just...
Whatever I could find, bro.
Yeah.
The whole thing is, he's lucky. That guy is extremely lucky that he encountered a kid that he was able to, like, bully down and make him feel small. You know, imagine if he would have ran into another one of him. That would have been a dead body on the water, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So...
the kid was trying to de-escalate the whole entire
yeah, he
time.
was the whole time. He's like, "Fuck off, bro! Like, leave me alone. It wasn't me. Like, stop."
Well, no, he was cussing.
Another thing too is
that's the thing you probably don't want to do when the escalating is cussing back, right? Or saying what you want to do, like, you know, just leave it at that. You know what I mean? Like,
but at the same time,
he egged him on. His ego was in a play.
You want to know something too? There's this thing called fishing and hunters harassment. The moment he came up to that guy and started cussing him out, that's illegal. It's fisherman's harassment. You're not allowed to harass fishermen or hunting guys. And if that's a minor, that's so many times.
Yeah, but did he threaten him? He didn't threaten him.
Threatening someone the way he did is
he threatened at the very end.
He still threatened him though.
At the very end. Yeah, but he
still,
wasn't threatening the entire time. He was just cussing him out.
He said, I would have came when he's like, I had to come over here and fuck both of y'all up or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what he said at the very end.
Yeah,
but the entire time wasn't threat. So again, I'm playing the devil's advocate.
He didn't say
here.
a threat. But jumping on his boat is clearly extremely threatening.
It'd be interesting
exactly. Actions definitely speak louder than words.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what's going on. Like, I see he was aggressive. And again, I'm playing the devil's advocate here. You know, I'm not saying that what he did was right. He should have been fucking...
A deaf guy could beat your ass, but he doesn't have to say that he's going to beat your ass.
That is true.
Yeah. Which he did.
If he's rushing you, bro, he's rushing you.
At the very end, you know what I mean? He said that, which...
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, even just him, the way he's screaming and then jumping on his boat erratically, that's extremely threatening.
I meant me,
you know?
by the way, not
like,
deaf.
like you just said,
I fucked up.
like you just said, if he would have had a gun, it would have been pew pew really quick. And imagine,
imagine. No, that would have been pew pew if he jumped on a boat.
Let's say if it was that scenario, the moment he jumped on that boat, and if that kid would have been legally carrying and pulled out a gun and shot him, he probably wouldn't be.
No.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't be out of his rights.
Especially with a video and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at that point, because they're like, oh, I'm fearing for my life. This is what I'm saying. This is kind of a gray area, but it's not that gray of an area. The kid has more you know, towards him than the other guy. Now, it's going to all depend. I can tell you this. Can you pull up the kid's account a little more for me?
And the reason I can tell you it's going
to come down to money.
So I can.
It's gonna come down to money. Who's got more money, and they're gonna be able to prove that. Which,
you know why I think you're wrong? Because there's already such a following behind this that's going down. That's
so you're saying
that's backing the kid.
It's probably gonna go to criminal court, maybe not civil.
Yeah, no, it won't be civil. Yeah, I don't think this.
So if it goes to criminal, kid doesn't have to shell out any money. Now you got the attorney. The attorney's gonna try to make a name for himself.
Even if he did have to shell out money, I think the community would back him so hard. He could probably do a GoFundMe and shit like that, be killing it.
Kid looks like he's got a decent boat. So kid is not, you know,
fucking catching cobia. Fuck you.
Yeah, the kid is not. It looks like, from what it looks like, he might be from an affluent family. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is gonna come down to money. Is gonna come down to money for that guy.
You know, I think it's already just. I think the decision's already been made in the sense where you ask, like, well, will he lose his charter captain license? I think even he knows he is going to lose it. That's the whole reason he took his.
What's his thing? Do we have any news? Do pull up the news.
Well, he already took down.
What do you want to know about the news? This is the whole entire video. You have more footage than anybody else.
Yeah.
No, I understand, but what are the news sources are saying?
There hasn't been anything.
Information?
This just happened.
Yeah, this just happened. There hasn't been anything officially filed or anything like that. But the guy already took down his charter website. Meaning his business has already been taken down.
Yeah, go to his Google reviews.
I'm sick of seeing Brock.
go to his Google reviews.
Oh, yeah, his Google reviews went from 4.5 to 5 stars to 1.5.
It's no longer up. He took it down.
Oh, yeah.
The Google reviews are down?
Yeah, it's down. I tried looking for them.
Oh, so somebody put the website up there on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there it goes. There's news right there.
His website is the only thing that pulls up, but his Google My Business doesn't.
No, go back up.
You can't actually do the reviews and stuff like that.
Hit the articles
for the first one.
This is just gonna show the video.
Who's Captain Robert? It's just giving him
it's just giving us the same story we already know.
22-year-old. So that kid is 22 years old. Looks like.
Damn, To be 22 and still telling a grown man, I'm just a kid. I'm just a
Go
kid.
back up. Maybe I just saw 22, so I assume that's the kid. Maybe the kid is not
That's
22. But right there, 20-year-old.
22 year. Yeah, Gage Towels. That's the kid. Yeah,
Okay.
22. I don't know.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see, man. What's
You
gonna happen.
imagine the kid.
This kid might have more footage, since he's been recording.
He also in that same that video we just watched himself. He posted that was from his page, and it said there, if you want to see full video, go to my YouTube. Maybe there's like a longer.
Go
version.
to YouTube.
That's,
I don't know.
That's
We don't.
the long version of.
Oh, it is.
That is the long version. Okay.
But I don't know, man. You imagine
It's gonna be interesting for sure.
You imagine if the kid knew jujitsu takes and the guy jumps in his boat, it takes off, and when he circles back to drop the captain back off, he's just like, here, take him, sleeping.
Yeah, yeah, and then just like shove the body back overboard. The mafia style. You just tie the fucking anchor to the feet.
You hog tie his ass, throw him back. Bro, this is bad though. I mean, like.
Well, good. He looks like he's been a menace all his entire fucking life. And you can clearly tell after being through all these troubles, he hasn't learned shit.
Yeah, and a lot
it's
of people.
It's not a sea dweller, Mingy. It's the land dweller.
Yeah. A lot of people were under the assumption that he was probably under the influence.
I think
and that could attribute it to the
no, I think
to
he's
the
just,
aggressiveness.
I think he's just that type of a fucking person.
Yeah.
He's just one of those people. Like, this is a perfect example. I can tell you this right now. I am going to take a wild fucking guess, and I can bet $100 on it that he's fucking probably hardcore Republican. I'm just gonna go that route. So he's the epitome of the far right.
Why'd you say that with an Italian accent?
Which one? Huh?
Epitome. You said epitome.
Oh, epitome. He's the epitome of a fucking hardcore, very far right.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the very far left, blue hair.
Yeah.
Everybody's feelings matter, and I don't give a shit how the world thinks I'm right. So he's the same thing on the other. He's the fucking the opposite side of the fucking stick. That's who he is. And I think people like that are just sometimes deserve to be smacked over the fucking head. They do. Whether the law is going to do it or someone else is going to do it. We're just going to have to see.
I hope this kid gets some kind of compensation. That would be cool to see.
Compensation, because it's a state of Florida. Remember that whole thing with Hulk Hogan where he sued that news outlet and got $140 million? He didn't get any of that money. Because state of Florida, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money. It is what it is.
You don't have to pay it.
Yeah, you don't have to pay it.
That's something that's always brought up every time one of us has a bad experience somewhere. Like, I'm gonna sue that place. You're like, they're already broke.
Yeah, they're already broke.
They're already broke, bro. You can't get anything from them.
This watch, man, is pretty fucking snazzy. I'm not gonna lie.
Everyone's talking about the death of the PRX because of this shit, but it's like, bro, the price point is so different. You can't even like.
Yeah, how are you gonna kill the PRX? Or what the fuck are you guys talking about, man?
That's exactly what I was saying. I was like,
the fuck you talking about? What are we looking at here? $10,000?
Actually, you know what you're doing is you're gonna boost sales of the PRX, if you ask me.
If anything, yes,
because it's so similar. This is the
what's
new
what's the
land
price
dweller.
point on this one?
I don't know. That is actually a very good question, Jay. I'm not sure. You're not going to find it on Rolex's website. They don't give any numbers.
So it's a 40 millimeter Oyster. Discover this model. Click on that. Discover this model.
Just look up land dweller MSRP.
You ain't getting your hands on this for another 5 years minimum, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not. Go to Mayors. Go to Mayors.
Right there. Rolex has it. 13.9.
Yeah, bro. Fuck out of here. $216,000 depending on the die. 13.9, bro. This is putting the watch right along with just under Daytona.
No, it's not that expensive. It can't be. It can't be that expensive.
If that's the price, it's putting it right. No, it can because it's got that gold rotor in there. Rolexes usually don't have a window. It's a crystal.
Back, yeah.
So it's open back. It's a crystal, and it's got
the
a gold
only
rotor.
one I think that has it is, what is it? The not Calatrava, but the Rolex version. Like what's it? That Rolex that's very basic that they have the
Oyster Perpetual.
No, not the OP 19. They call it the 1902 now. That's what it's called now.
Yeah, but nobody
so
what
buys
does it
them.
say for context? Yeah. So look, in steel, 14.9 in steel. Has a retail price. It's a $15,000 watch. Like GMT is
It
less
is a
than that.
$15,000. Bro, how the fuck are they charging this? It has no
I have
complication.
no fucking
Does it
idea.
have a date?
It has just a date on it. That's it.
Just a date? And how are they charging this, man? What do they think that this watch has that they're gonna charge? Oh, you know what it is? I think it's platinum.
a new caliber.
Isn't it platinum?
No, platinum. Platinum be 50.
Yeah, I know, but I think they have a platinum version.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
because they have a platinum version of the GMT, which is $50,000, but the GMT is still 10.
Do they have a platinum version?
Yeah,
of
they
it?
have a
I thought-
platinum
No,
and
it's
gold.
a white. It's a white gold.
Well, they have both. I
White
think.
gold with the diamonds on the bezel.
No, they have the platinum. The platinum's got that fucking crazy ass face.
Oh, okay, I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's completely blue, I think.
Do you think they're like the integrated bracelet is something that they're bringing the price up on? Oh no, and it's made out of steel.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh no, oyster steel and white gold.
On white gold, white
And white gold.
and
for
white
this one.
gold. The bezel maybe. Well, unless there's in the middle, there's white. Which part of that is white gold though?
I don't know. And it's hard to match steel and white gold. There's a very different tones and texture to it.
Now, see, Joe, here's the thing with watches. You don't want to scratch your watch until you get the first scratch. Once you get the first scratch, after that, it's like, whatever.
I banged the bezel on my.
Yeah.
On
So
my,
what does it say? Okay.
It's so
What does it
bad.
say? Oyster steel and white gold, Everose gold, platinum. So oyster steel and white gold, I'm guessing it's because of the bezel, because that fluted bezel is usually white gold. The fluted bezel is white gold. That's the reason why regular Datejust is more in price with a fluted bezel, because it's white gold.
I don't know.
I just don't know how they justify
Looks like the
this.
lowest one. Wait, go up, Mickey. You see one there for.
That's the smaller version, 13.3 CHF, which is more than dollar, right? So
Yeah, that's the Swiss.
yeah, so see, they're going
Swiss
CHF
francs.
13.3, 14.2, and then they're going to 40,000.
Yeah, probably for like the platinum and then gold.
No, that's
versions.
gold. That's regular gold, and then the platinum would be 82, and then it goes to diamonds. Maybe.
Maybe the diamond's already at that level too.
Yeah.
No, that's just a gold.
Yeah, so the white gold bezel, I bet it's just the bezel that's white gold, which makes no fucking sense to me.
66-hour power reserve.
Yeah, there you go. That's the Everose gold. So it's a 18 karat Everose gold.
Yeah, but what do you think of the actual watch? I mean,
I like the watch, but the price, Jesus fucking Christ.
forget about the price. It's a Rolex, anyways.
What do you mean forget about it? It's a Rolex anyways. You're saying
It's gonna be over 10 grand regardless.
Yeah, but there's a big fucking difference between 10 grand and 15 grand.
Yeah,
There's a huge difference.
I don't like the honeycomb dial, the motif that they're doing.
I'm glad you said it.
I don't like it. I've never really been a fan of fluted bezels, so I don't like the 5-link integrated bracelet. I don't like this watch.
I do. Hear me out. It is an integrated bracelet. It looks good, and it's something completely different than what Rolex has been putting out for years now.
Oh, 100% you're right. Now, I feel like
it is
they
like
would
a
have
fall jubilee bracelet. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. This is my issue. They didn't change enough. In the sense where it's
well,
like
they
you're saying,
couldn't.
it's
They had
that
to keep
faux,
the DNA.
it's
you know
that
what I
faux
mean?
jubilee bracelet, like, you know, kind of has that same look of the 5-link, you know, and then the fluted bezel, bro. It's just like you just took it off a Datejust and then slapped it on.
Yeah, of course.
So that's where I have the issues with
Go
it.
back to the fluted bezel one, the most basic.
What are the, yeah, the
stainless steel.
basic one.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so here's the thing with the fluted bezel. A lot of people don't understand this, right? For the life of you, you cannot wear this with a white shirt. The minute you wear it with a white shirt, it starts catching the inside of the cuff, and starts ruining the cuff. You know what I mean? So cuffs get fucked.
Yeah, I know what you mean, like an actual shirt.
Actual shirt gets fucked. But
I like how slim it is. What's the thickness on this, Mickey?
now, hear me out. At 10 and a half, $10,500.
Damn, 9.8 millimeters thick. That's very thin.
That's
very
very
thin.
Maybe that it's a new. I bet this is what it is. It's a new caliber that's very
Yeah,
thin.
it is.
It's a new caliber, very thin, with a gold
bezel.
Not gold bezel and a gold rotor. That's what it is. This is why they're pricing it at that. That makes sense, but I still wouldn't fucking.
How does the clasp look? Is it like, you
I don't
know,
think
AP
it's
and stuff where it's like integrated with the bracelet, or is it an actual clasp?
It's probably gonna be like this.
I'd hope not. It's such a slim watch for you to put a fat ass clasp on it.
No, Pure RX is not losing any fucking sales. If anything, people are gonna buy it even more. Pretend it's the Rolex. Watch people.
Okay, you know they did do it like a almost like a presidential style where it's integrated.
Okay.
It's nice. It looks nice.
So yeah, so I can see why they're putting it at $14,500, but I still don't justify that $14,500 or $15,000.
Well, you're getting close to the MSRP of a Daytona.
The Daytona is $15,000.
That's what I'm
15
saying.
something. Well, it's 16,000 actually.
But yeah, you're getting close to that price, and it just doesn't.
And
make
Daytona,
any sense
and this and Daytona, like there's no
Not
way this is
comparison.
gonna fucking even come close
to
to
reaching
Daytona's
the height. Of
hype.
Daytona. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't care what you do with this. I don't care how much of it you bring back to life from history. It's just not gonna work. I don't know. But again, with all this shit we're talking about,
We're gonna sell.
good luck trying to fucking find this one when you go in there. You're gonna be at this point. You're gonna be at a 10-year wait time.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, it might die off quick.
Might die off quick, yeah.
It might die off quick. It might be like a 1902 that you can.
I
get
think what
any
they
day
did
of the
with
week.
this, they made a watch for somebody to wear with a suit, because with a suit and a
The
cup,
thick watches, yeah.
thick watches don't really fit right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's to be seen, right?
Yeah.
We'll see in about
What is it? I
6
think it's
months, a year.
1902.
We'll see where we at with this one. Probably longer, probably 2 to 3 years. We'll see where we at with this one, and how much is gonna. And the whole thing is, they released this watch at $15,000 in a very, very tough economic time. Right now, all the watch prices are going down.
Yes.
And fucking Papi Trump fucking did the stupidest shit he would do, and he fucking pushed forward with the tariffs. Which everybody was kind of hoping it's gonna die down and it's gonna just like veer off and do something else. But he's like, nope, I'm gonna show you my balls. And
A big case back reminded me of the 1908 is what it is.
That's probably what they did. They probably used the
What was
1908
this?
movement.
You were talking about how this is
Cellini?
Yeah, they don't call it the Cellini anymore, but it's the 1908. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is 18K though.
Yeah, and they're still less than 10 grand.
Huh?
You can find not the actual gold ones, but you can find them for pretty cheap.
Yeah, but the new ones are, I think, only gold, and because it's just the top part that's gold and not the entire strap, that's why they're only 18K or 20K or whatever. But I don't know. We'll see how this happens. There's a whole thing about Korea right now. So apparently, if South Korea continues to go on a route that it's going right now, they're predicting, I think, in the next 30 to 50 years, the population is going to go down to 4% of what it is right now.
4%.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a huge problem in Korea. Young people are not having kids, and old people are going to die off, pretty much. But the problem is also is who's going to pay the Social Security. And there's another number that just came through for United States. So in 2019, big financial institutions released a report that said women, by 2030, women under between ages of 18 to 40, 43% or 46% of them will be childless, unmarried, and that number has accelerated. Now they're projecting by 2030 is going to be 53%. So that number has accelerated. So we're in a pretty bad situation right now.
You speaking of young people not having sex,
that number went down and then it went back up.
I
again.
watched the show Adolescence.
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
talked about, and besides the whole plot, right?
Yeah.
Something extremely cool about that show.
Mhm.
Extremely. Every episode is a single shot.
Single shot. What do you mean?
A single camera shot.
Mhm.
Meaning, when the episode starts and ends, it has never left that camera's view. There is not a single cut, a single piece of B-roll, nothing in that show. So the way the show works is the camera follows around the person that is, the focus point. And then, like, for example, they'll be, like, in the police station, right? And it wants to switch to another person. It'll wait, it'll, like, when someone walks past each other, it switches and then keeps going on that story.
Yeah.
It's an extremely cool thing because as someone who creates content and, stuff like that, I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, damn, was this like, how hard could this have fucking been to, edit? Like you have the camera going from inside to outside to different views within a room, and all those things change lighting, and how do you keep the lighting consistent? So I figured out they basically had like these guys would walk around with the camera rig, and you remember at that fighting event how they have the whole shit rigged up. They'd have that, right? The whole fucking robotic system rigged up. And then, like, for example, they'll be in this car scene, right? And as the car's changing, like, they'll put it on the camera on another car, follow them, or like even put the camera on a drone and follow the car with a drone view and everything.
I see what they're doing.
So the entire episode,
someone knew what the fuck they're doing.
Bro,
Those are pretty good cameraman.
Bro, when I was watching this, and because I knew about this before watching it. Look, like all of this is everything is a single consecutive shot. The camera does not cut from that view a single time.
So it's almost like a third person view.
Yeah. You never leave this view. Like everything that's happening right now, it never cuts from this camera. It follows the camera and whoever is following the entire time, which I feel like it had a bunch of negatives, because the way they set up the show, like, usually when you're watching a show or a movie and someone's on a phone call, you can hear the other side of the phone call as well, and they'll like cut back and forth between the two people. There was none of that. If someone was on a phone call, you were just hearing their side. You were just watching them only. The show's pretty crazy. You know how you said it had
has to do. I haven't watched the show, like, paid attention to it really. But
take the subtitles off. Take the subtitles off.
Maybe it has to do with
fair use, by the way, educational purposes.
What's it called? You threw me off, Jay. What do you want?
To take the subtitles off.
For what?
It's fucking YouTube. You never know.
It's Netflix. It's worse. But I'm not streaming.
Yeah, I was about to say you can't stream this.
Okay,
Hell no.
Never mind. I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
Like this
whole
something
idea about watching the show and
the
editing.
It has to do with perspective.
Yeah.
Because you're only paying attention to what's happening there. It's almost like you're just another person watching the situation.
Yeah, but see, this whole fucking thing is, this whole show is such a propaganda. You know what I mean? It's just straight propaganda.
If you look at it like propaganda, sure, but sometimes you can kind of have to look at things other.
Well, can I give you? Have you watched the full thing?
No, I have not.
So I'll give you the view of someone who's watched it, and I knew about the whole thing of like them cutting through. I also knew about the influence from Andrew Tate. They do reference Andrew Tate in the show, one single time. The show
and everybody made it about him the whole time.
That's what I'm gonna say, Miggy. I feel like the show isn't so much about what people were bashing it about. Yes, is the story about a kid who was getting made fun of for being an incel. He ends up killing this girl. Yes, that's exactly what the show is about.
Oh, he did kill someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, sorry for ruining it, but yeah.
No, that's fine. I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you kind of like they give you the impression of like maybe he didn't do it, but then like very quickly they show you the footage, and so it's kind of like, well,
no, the whole thing is like this one kid killed one girl, and they made a whole show about this, and now what the propaganda part for me is they're putting all this on whatever Andrew movement is or any of the other ones, right? But yet they're not talking about what's actually important.
So what I saw the show to be actually is I felt like it was to show people a little bit of the inside of what's going on, and for people from the outside that don't maybe understand.
Yeah, but this is not it's a biased opinion. If
it
was non-biased, nobody would have watched it because it wouldn't have been sexy.
But I guarantee that there is bullying going on now about probably girls making fun of boys for being incels and all this shit.
Yeah,
that is definitely something that's happening.
But even if that's happening, the bad character is the kid.
Yeah.
But he was the one that was getting bullied.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
So the I don't.
And somehow they're saying it because of the influences that he had in his life. He almost deserved to be bullied.
I understand that. Influences that he had in his life. What do you mean?
Well, the kid apparently had influences by red pillars, whatever, right? Such as Andrew Tate, and then he ends up killing this girl.
Yeah.
Because of these outside influences, right? Even though he's being bullied, and
No,
they got him to that
that's not how
point.
they shed it in the show. They shed it in the show as him being a unstably mental kid.
Well, they have to shed it that way.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
they
that's-
have to
that's-
do it that way.
that's how it would
but
be.
but why would kid be unstable? It looks like he's from a decent family. Is the family involved in it? Is the family unstable?
Dad is definitely a little unstable. Yeah.
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 That is unstable. Okay, fine. And then you got the bullying on top of it, which is happening in schools, correct?
And then you have child emotions.
And then you have child emotions. But yet they make him look like the bad guy.
Not necessarily. So there's the way it looks like to me is yes, he is the one who murdered a 13-year-old girl. Yes, that is the show. But it's not, they don't necessarily focus so hard on he's bad and she's good. He's bad. That's not how it is.
Yeah.
They shed light on the bullying
Yeah.
that she did. It's really, you know, they didn't try and like push so hard on saying like this is bad, this is good. It was really just a story being told. It felt like.
Yeah. But
And, you know, you say a lot about
it
the
still
bias and
puts that
stuff.
movement. It still puts that movement in a negative light. That's the whole idea. He has to. There's no other way.
So in a negative light, in the sense because they showed the negative part of it, right?
That's what I'm saying. But they never showed the positive part of it, which would have been unbiased.
Not necessarily. They could have showed positive and still been biased.
Yeah, if they showed only positive, it would have been biased. If they showed only negative, it would have been biased. But they showed both.
Since when do positive stories make good series
They
or
don't.
shows?
That's what
Never.
I'm saying.
Never do.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it would have been sexy. It would have been just whatever. You know, but now it's like, oh my god, right?
I can understand the idea of a film being biased if it's only like funded by one particular party that has this idea and specificities. But when you're talking about a film like that, I don't think they're.
Well, who do you think
you're gonna
sponsored
have,
this?
You're gonna have a director bias in
No, but-
anything you do.
but who-
Everybody wants to do things the way they want to do them.
Who do you think sponsored this movie? It was done by Netflix because it's a Netflix original, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was done by Netflix that also put out the Tinder Swindler. Tinder Swindler. There's a Netflix show that's called Tinder Swindler. This guy goes around and swindles women out of money.
I never heard about this.
That's what I'm saying. Because that usually doesn't happen in a world. Usually it's the other way around. It's women swindling money out of the guys. But they never, you know what I'm saying?
What does this have to do with Netflix having some type of bias? They have millions of, or not millions, but thousands of TV shows and movies that they stream on their service. Like,
Well,
what does
That
have
show
to do-
they
People
have
choose-
shows that
people-
show bias in both directions.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the
Like
whole
which
thing.
one would be biased in both directions?
What do you mean they have?
Like
There's-
I'm strictly talking about male and female relationships.
I'm
Well,
saying like
people choose to watch whatever the fuck they want.
No, I understand that, but again,
I
Tinder
think-
Swindler was a very
I
popular
think
show that everybody
Netflix is
watched.
smart enough to not make things only biased towards one way. Everyone watches Netflix. There are shows on Netflix
Bro,
and Netflix originals
I mean, show me
biased
one
towards both.
show where they put women in the negative light with the fuckery that they do.
What do you mean, bro? I'm sure there's got to be something.
There isn't one. That's what I'm trying.
Come on,
because
Jay.
it's
Don't
not
just
PC.
say that without you knowing.
Because it's not PC.
That's bullshit. A lot of things today are still PC. You're saying this like people are still with cancel culture. That shit's gone. That
Oh,
shit's
no, it's
done.
not.
Yes,
What
it
are you
is.
talking about?
People say whatever the fuck they want.
Not that Twitter. Yeah, I agree. Not that Twitter became the town hall court.
No, now that fucking Trump is in office, everyone wants to say whatever the fuck they want.
That's true too.
We'll get a pardon.
Yeah, but remember, this show was created before, like this whole thing was.
I
filmed
understand what you're
before-
saying, and I also think that
Yeah.
even before Trump came in office, cancel culture was starting to make its way out.
That's correct. Netflix not all, but this was specifically, including the Tinder Swindler, was specifically done by Netflix. Just like that new movie Disney made that fucking crashed and burned, and right now is considered one of the worst movies ever.
Snow
created.
White?
So
Snow White.
check this out. Andrew Schultz films his
That was not
Special.
PC. That
It's
was
a
not.
Netflix special that they buy the rights to Andrew Schultz
so
thing.
isn't
That
what
happens the
Netflix
same way.
does?
Yes, it does.
No.
Yes, it does.
No,
yes,
no,
it
no,
does. That happens with Netflix TV shows as well. Sometimes they don't actually produce them; they buy the rights
They
to
just
them.
buy 'em.
They
Just-
buy the
just
rights
like
to it.
Peaky
Yeah, but
Blinders.
this was produced directly by Netflix.
Just because it's in a Netflix, just
No.
because it's a Netflix original,
You
doesn't
can
mean
pull it
it's
up. It was produced by Netflix. This was Netflix commissioned. Just like Tinder Swindler was Netflix commissioned. Andrew Schultz's stand-up is not commissioned by Netflix. Netflix goes and buys the rights to be able to stream it on their platform only.
Not true. So when
What do
he
you
goes
mean
to
not true?
film the special, he already sells it beforehand too.
Correct.
So
Correct.
it was commissioned by Netflix before
No,
it
it was
was
not
done.
commissioned by
Before-
Netflix.
They wanted
It
to
was.
edit.
It's not commissioned by Netflix. Netflix goes
They
out there
wanted
and
to
says,
edit.
I'll sponsor this movie." But Andrew Schultz's thing is more to get the rights to his platform because people flock to his
Andrew
who
Schultz
flock to
filmed
just to
this
watch him.
special, and then Netflix was like, "We don't like some of the things you said in the special, so we don't want to buy it."
Well, there you go. So then Netflix did not commission that, right? They just buy the rights to it. Just
But-
like they buy the license to it, just like they buy the license to the movie. That's why there are some movies that you can show and not some that you don't.
So, but if it's something that's filmed with Netflix, but then Netflix goes and edit it, and they're like, "No, we don't like what you filmed for us," so it's not Netflix commissioned. It's not something that Andrew Schultz was trying to collaborate.
Say that
with
again.
Netflix on.
Say that again.
That's how that was set up. He had the deal with Netflix to make the special and film it. He went and filmed it, and then they said we want to edit it, and he said no. And so they said, "All right, we're not going to
Yeah,
put
but
it
then
out."
they-
And he
they
said,
would-
"Okay, I'm putting it on YouTube."
Yeah, but they've got the rights to the. It's a different story. There are shows right now on Netflix that there are movies and shows right now on Netflix that you just getting them on Netflix because they didn't buy the license or there was no way for them to buy the license, and then they finally got a hold of it and bought the license. Because different countries they buy a different licenses. Now, when we go to Europe, you open the Netflix, you're gonna see completely different shows and movies that you don't see here. Because they buy the license, it's geographic, it's all kinds of shit. But this one, my understanding is that this specific British show was commissioned by Netflix.
It wasn't. Warp Films, Matriarch Productions, and Plan B Entertainment produced the
Yeah.
series
They
for
produced it.
Netflix.
For Netflix.
Yeah, so do a lot of other
That's
shows.
what I'm trying to-
It doesn't mean that
So-
Netflix
no.
Studios actually went
It's not
and did
Netflix
it.
Studios. I don't know if Netflix has its own studios,
Yeah,
but
they do.
I don't know if they do. I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But what I'm saying is they went to these people and they said, "I want you to produce this show for me." And they did.
The guy who created the show isn't even a part of Netflix.
I understand that. It's not like Netflix goes out there and gets, like, Netflix has shows where they go out there and get actors and say, "Okay, we have this actor, that actor, we're gonna get them and we're gonna make this specific show."
It was a British show, actually.
It
yeah.
is a British show, but it is produced by these
That's
people
what I was
for
thinking
Netflix.
of too. Bought just like Peaky, in the sense where Peaky Blinders was already produced, made by BBC way before that.
But
and then
BBC
Netflix.
produced it, and then Netflix got the rights to Peaky Blinders. That's different. These guys went to these companies and said, "Produce this show for me." That's the difference.
But what does that have to do with Netflix having some type of agenda?
Well, I'm not saying they have agenda. I'm just saying that they're putting out PC content. There's a big difference. They're not being what my original thought is. I'm not saying it's good or bad. My original idea was that it is a biased show, just like the Tinder Swindler. It was a biased show.
I think
a
all
biased
movies and,
documentary.
shows are biased.
Yes, they do. They do have bias in them. All the movies that they have agenda to push, just like the Snow White, any Crash and Burn. You know, Disney's been under fire for many, many years now.
I think actually the crazy part with the Snow White thing is they tried to create a new version of the story, and the main actor, that girl, was
Yes.
so.
If she shut the fuck up, just like Trump shuts the fuck up, everything would have been good. But
I feel like
didn't
if
choose
she
to
would have shut the
up.
fuck up, the movie would have did better.
Yeah.
And we may be wrong. I feel
Yeah,
like we could be wrong.
movie would have done better.
I think we could be wrong. I don't think we're 100% right about that.
Movie would have done better, man. If she shut the fuck up, movie
I
would
don't
have done better because it was women empowerment, all this good jazz, blah 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 blah. But then she had to go out there and say, you know, it's creepy, it's this and that, the third, the fourth, and then people voted with their wallet, and it fucking crashed and burned. I think it was like a $340 million budget, and I think they made only what was the amount of money they made? I don't think they're gonna recover the fees. And I don't know if that girl ever will get another role again.
Is it Cinderella?
Mm-hmm. No, not Cinderella. Snow White. Snow White. Snow White heads for 115 million loss. How can Disney recover? Um, I mean, it's not the only movie that they put out that went bad, right? Like went horribly bad. Um, Disney tried to be woke, and it just bit him in the ass, like really hardcore. Um, People don't want this, man.
Looks like Netflix is wanting to commission a season 2.
Of
Adolescence.
adolescence, yeah. So there
wanna
you
make
go.
another
So they want
season.
to commission it. Do you see
Whoa,
what I'm
whoa,
saying?
whoa, whoa! But that's very. We're getting into a lot of like different verbiage here on what is actually going down.
Well, what is going down
Commission just means, hey, we're willing to pay
for the
a
season?
second season.
Yeah, but the whole idea was, you said that they went to these production companies and they said, produce this show for me. Somebody clearly came to them and said, hey, I have this idea of the show. I want to produce it. Would you like to buy it? And Netflix read through it. They had their team read through it, and they maybe threw some people towards it and they said, we'll edit this, we'll edit that, we'll make it look this way. And then they commissioned those studios to make the movie. Where Peaky Blinders was completely different. It was commissioned by BBC. They all did their own thing, and then Netflix came in and said, this is amazing, I want to buy it.
And then the seasons after that were commissioned
By Netflix. Correct. Because they're like, okay, this is good and good. Now I can throw my money and my own people as well. Now let's make this a bigger
The same thing
deal.
happened with Adolescence. There just
So
wasn't
let-
any seasons
let's be
beforehand.
honest. It's
Well,
not, Netflix doesn't
it's the
give
same
a
thing.
fuck if you're a left, if you're a right, if you're an up,
They
or if
do.
you're an down. All they care about is,
They do.
are you watching and are we making money?
I agree.
Correct,
with
but they
Miggy.
do. But
I
they do. They
agree.
still have to be PC.
I don't think they give a fuck. There's plenty of
They
stuff
do.
on Netflix
Because if
for
they-
both sides, Jay.
But-
everyone watches it. The right and the left.
But you
the
just
gays,
proved
the
my
non-gays.
point 5 minutes ago. Because if they were not
You
like
just proved
that,
mine 2 seconds ago when you said that someone else came up with the idea for Adolescence and then Netflix bought it.
Well,
it's
clearly
the same
somebody-
thing as Peaky Blinders. Just Peaky Blinders was able to have someone else do it first and then Netflix. It's the same
yeah.
shit, Jay.
But the problem is
you
this.
just proved my point right.
But the
20
problem is
seconds
this:
ago.
if that wasn't the case, Andrew Schultz's special would have went out, and they would have said, "We don't like this and we don't like
Well,
that."
because cancel culture was more heavy at that time when Andrew Schultz did his first special.
Fucking cancel culture was heavy or not heavy. So clearly fucking they have a bias. This is what I'm trying to say. They all have a bias, no
Yeah,
matter how you
they're
look at
trying
it.
to
They're gonna
protect their job.
protect their money.
Well, I understand that. I understand. I'm not saying again. I'm going back to the
guys,
same
guys,
point. I
guys,
never
wait,
said
wait,
it's
wait.
good or bad.
It's getting heated. You guys are
No, it's not
screaming.
hated. It's not hated.
Okay.
But look at it this way. At that time, if when Andrew Schultz did his shit, you don't think that if someone on the opposite side of Andrew Schultz would have done something just as extreme, they wouldn't have done it too?
Well,
They
here's-
did the same shit because cancel culture works both ways.
I'll come back to that and I'll answer that. But this is what happened. Why has Netflix started putting out a lot of anime?
Because it's blowing up.
Not because it's blowing up, because it's costing cheaper to do, as well. That was the whole
Well,
thing.
that's
about the
always
anime.
been that.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't.
Anime is not that cheap to produce. by
It's
the way.
not that cheap.
Ready,
Correct, I
but
agree,
Jay,
but
you
it's still
can't-
cheaper than hiring good actors and doing the movies and things like
You
that.
can't attribute that to that because animation has always been more affordable.
Bro, they themselves came out and said that they're going to switch to anime because it's cheaper, because they don't have to find the actors, they don't have to pay them, they don't have to do that. It's much cheaper to do anime. That's why they put out a lot of the Castlevania stuff. That's why they've been putting out a lot of anime. Then was that the Black Samurai they put out. Then they put out The Witcher. Why did Witcher went into an animated show?
Sucking cheap,
Because it's cheap. That's my whole point.
and no one likes a
And
new
that shit
actor.
sucked.
Anyone likes the new actor, whatever.
It didn't suck.
It didn't suck. It was good.
If you're talking about some type of like anime show,
Oh, I didn't watch the animated version, but I watched the actual live action show. It was fucking good.
Yeah, it was good. I
Very
agree
good.
with that. It was good. Now, what I'm trying to say, Netflix has shifted their model because what they've done, they've hit a wall. There's no more people that are signing up for Netflix, right? That's why they implemented these things where you can only watch it within your Wi-Fi, so people are not sharing, so more people subscribe, right? So Netflix,
That's why they're bringing the live events.
they're hitting plateaus. So because they're hitting plateaus, they're doing it a little bit differently. Netflix, it will be me acting all parts, including the women roles. It's going to be #1 show. I could see Trump saying some shit like that with his, it's going to be great. I'm the best.
I feel like no one can do that like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy could do it. You know,
Eddie Murphy can play
you know
every
who
single
could do-
fucking role in a movie and you'd still laugh.
yeah, the Eddie Murphy, I think was, what was the Robin Williams?
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy was, it's our day, Robin. Well, at least my day. Right now, I'm sure there's somebody else, but Eddie Murphy was the Robin Williams back in the day when Mrs. Doubtfire and all that
Yeah,
shit.
but Eddie Murphy has done like the whole multiple roles
They have
thing
done.
a lot.
Yeah, he has
Like,
done.
And
They
you-
have done.
yeah, like Norbit. Norbit's one of the most fucking iconic. Like that's like a little
Yeah.
cult classic
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this
yeah.
point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Rasputia.
the best example. Now, I do agree with you that Netflix is not as fucking biased as Disney, for example. I do.
Oh,
agree.
whoa, yeah,
Like,
that's
they're
a whole
not even on
nother-
the same
Yeah,
category.
no,
They're not
Netflix
even the
is
same
about
category.
the fucking money.
Yeah, they're about the money, but at the same time,
Netflix is about the kids.
yeah, at the same time,
Or sorry, Disney's about the
yeah,
kids.
the part I didn't like because they're still putting men in a bad light. That's what I don't like. Because you got majority of fucking men wake up, work really fucking hard to build roads, to fucking keep the roof over their houses, and majority of men are fucking good. Majority of good people, but they're putting them at a bad light, and this is the situation that we're having right now.
So-
where our children are not being born, countries,
I would
amount
look
of
at
children
it.
going
I
down.
I would look at it as what I guess you could call a bad transfer of power.
No, I think
I
it's
don't
not
know
a
if that's
bad.
how you would say, because I think what the argument behind why the girls want more stories is very valid,
Yeah,
because it just wasn't there.
yeah,
right?
that's fine, but
And that's fine. But I think what you're getting at is, okay, it's fine for you to have your story, but why during your story do you have to downplay us?
correct.
So I get what you're saying. That's why I say
Correct.
is I feel like it's like a bad transfer of power in the
Well,
sense where
I think the pendulum swing too far. I don't think it's ever going to come back. Because once pendulum swings, it's not really coming
I
back.
don't
It's
think
just going to
that
continue that way. But I think what's going to happen, because see, there's one thing I can give to guys. Guys are very, very, very ingenious. And what's going to happen within the next 50 years, you'll see these robots. They're going to be very human-like.
Look, man,
And
we have this thing called tides in the world, right? When that shore gets dry, aka that pussy, there's gonna be fish.
Yeah, they're gonna come up with the robots, which are gonna be very lifelike, and then what's gonna happen? There's gonna be some creepy uncle that's gonna gift his little nephew 2 of those robots when he turns 18 years old. This kid is gonna be doing his thing with these robots, and then when he's 25, he's gonna go to the bar and try to talk to a girl. Girl's gonna say, "Ew, get away from me, you creep." And this guy is gonna come back to his same robots, and a lot of men are going to go that route.
if she looks like Ana de Armas, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Like the girl in Blade Runner, if she's a hologram like that, bro, I don't fucking blame him.
What I'm trying to say, what's gonna happen? Because the working horse of the
You can say working whores.
no, the working horse of the society are men. The entire world, I don't care how you want to look at it, the entire world is built on backs of men. I hate to say it. They're just literally better at a lot of things than women. They just are. To start with cooking, the most famous chefs are men, to finish with whatever the fuck you want. What's going to happen then? I really feel bad for the women that are in our lives, because now they're going to become second-class citizens. Because nobody's going to pay them respect anymore. Because they're going to go back to their robots and they're going to be like, fuck you. Who the fuck are you to tell me anything?
I feel like that's such a minority of people that would actually.
I'm
feel that
telling you,
way.
bro, give it 50 years, bro. They're already, I'm telling you, the numbers are there. Between 80 to 40 by 2030, 53%, more than half of women in United States at that age are going to be single and childless.
That's a prediction, though.
Well, it's a prediction that now they're saying has accelerated.
Still a prediction.
Yeah, but it has
It
accelerated.
doesn't matter. It's still a prediction.
Yeah, but it's going that way. What's going to happen to change it? Nothing I see that could possibly happen to change
I
that.
get what you're saying. At the end of the day,
Uh-huh.
it's still a prediction.
Yeah, that's being hopeful. I'm just being realistic. You're being optimistic. I get it.
I feel like you're being optimistic in the
What's
sense where
that?
I'm
What's
being
that?
pessimistic, you mean?
That stat that you just gave, what year was it?
Well, that was put out in 2019, the 46%.
Yeah,
right
but-
now, the
and
new
then
research came out.
On what year was
2030.
2030?
And right now,
We still got 5 years of war left, brother. We don't know what's going on.
yeah, well,
We
that's
don't
what
know
I'm
what's
saying.
gonna go down.
So that they just did the new research and they're predicting 20. But these are the people that are predicting this. These are people that are worried about money, right? You have to understand who's predicting. This is not some social worker from CDC or somebody that's doing this. This is not governmental entities. These are people that worry about their money. So what they're doing right now, they're putting out investment strategies for their clients where to invest the money. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's money on the line. If there's money on the line, we all know what happens.
That's another issue I see with it is when there's money on the line, people like to shift stories in
their favor to make that happen.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say, this is going to happen. So
but
keep your eyes up.
sometimes they even shift stories against what's gonna happen because it's still gonna help them.
Correct.
So
keep your eyes peeled for the companies that are going to produce lifelike human robots, and possibly, if this is, do your education, review these companies, make sure they're good, and
they're
start
coming.
maybe
They're
thinking
coming
about
after our
investing.
job. Maybe they
No, I don't think they're coming after your jobs. Man.
Yeah,
They're
no,
human,
I just
human.
saw Kim Kardashian. She posted a picture
capital
where she was
will be always
doing
there.
like a shoot,
Yeah.
and it was her on the Cybertruck. There was a dude at the back of the Cybertruck filming her, and then there was a Tesla robot on the
Yeah.
side of the Cybertruck with a camera filming. And it was this guy. He broke down the picture and was saying like, oh, like this is clearly just set up, but I think it's Boston Technology. One
Yeah,
of these.
Boston.
Boston
Boston. Yeah, I know
Boston
what you're talking about. The one
Technology or
that made the
something like
dog at first.
Yes, those guys are using robots for
Yes, they
studio
are. Have you
videos
seen those
and
robots?
pictures.
Those
Yeah.
motherfuckers do the fucking American the ninja shit.
Yeah. No, but fuck that. They're doing our job. They're filming and producing
Okay.
and taking
Yeah, but
pictures
see,
and doing
at the
all
end
that
of the
shit.
day, I don't think AI is there still to be able to edit it. Maybe they will.
Edit it? Yeah. I mean, what is Opus Clip, bro? That's
Uh,
AI. That's AI, and it's doing actually our jobs. Like,
Well,
in
see,
Opus
Alex,
Clip,
here's the problem. The trillions you're talking about, there's a little bit of misconception there, because if you look at the money where it was lost, yes, this last one hit a lot of the industries, but majority of the money that was lost was in tech, not in Walmart's, not in anyone that's actually going to take that hit. So tech was oversold. It was time for a correction for tech, which it happened.
like Nvidia and stuff like
Correct. Tesla and all of those. They were
Palantir.
oversold. Palantir. Well, Palantir actually didn't tank because Palantir is holding strong.
that. Really?
Yeah,
Nvidia
Palantir
tanked?
is hold. They did go down, but Nvidia tanked. Tesla tanked.
Yeah, I've heard about Tesla.
Now I didn't look today on a market. I don't know if Walmart's went down, but before that, it was only tech companies that going down. But the companies that are actually going to suffer because of the import stuff are going to be Walmart's, the ones that are dealing directly with China, importers. Those are going to be hit the hardest, right? So
Yeah, it looks like Walmart
Walmart,
has
but
taken a bit of
just
a hit.
today, okay, yeah. So it went from what, 89.50 down to what, 87, so $2 down, which is about,
Well, put a 5-day or 1 month either way.
yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, damn. What the fuck happened there?
But it still that's not a very, very big tank, right? Like, so yeah.
95.
Yeah, so
to
now go to
87.
Tesla. 95 to 87. Now go to Tesla in the same month period. Or Nvidia for that matter.
The Tesla, I think they're the better.
Yeah, hit 1 month. Yeah. Do 6
It's
months.
fluctuating a lot.
This is what we're looking at, from 500 down to 2, which is in half.
Yeah, I see what
Go
you
to
mean.
Netf-
Like they
go,
made its
go to
correction.
Nvidia.
It's right there on the right side. You don't even have to type.
Yeah, Nvidia tanked about the same too. Hit 6 months. See what I mean? The tech companies suffered, but they were supposed to suffer. It was due. Go to Walmart 6 months. We're talking about 50% loss, right? 6 months. Yeah. So what's their loss? 10% total?
No, +6 actually.
Plus 6, but no, from their high.
Oh, from their high.
From their high is 10% in that 6 months period.
A little
So
more
yeah,
than
they were
10%.
gonna take that. They were gonna take that hit because of the tariffs, clearly. But they're the ones that are importers, right? Go to Costco. This is the interesting one. Go to Costco. Yeah, hit 6 months. See Costco?
I mean,
See
it
what I
looks
mean?
like they're all taking hits. From
Yeah.
it.
Hit Apple. Well, right now everybody's taking hits. Just today, you know. Do 6 months. Yeah. Another tech giant. Damn near what? Fucking 20% right there?
Yeah, in the last 6 months, it's 20% down.
Yeah.
And that's from the 6 months.
There's more than 20% down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can wrap it up for today. We've got
No, I
hour and a
understand
half
why
or
they
so.
suffer. I mean, I don't know what your fight is. The first thing I did said that Trump was dumb and fucking did the tariffs. I don't know what fight you're fighting, Alex.
Nobody's fighting. We're about
Yeah.
to get straight.
I don't know what the problem is.
Don't get heated.
I think you're looking for it, Jay.
You're
How am I looking for it? He just put shit that I already talked
Look, bro,
about.
I'm fishing here. What do you want to do? All right.
Yeah, so
All right, thank you guys for joining us. It was a great episode. Appreciate you guys. Thank you in the chat for talking with us and keeping us active. And yeah, shout out to our sponsors: UFC Gym Largo in Pinellas Park, and Vitality Wellness Centers here in St. Pete, location 1 and location 2. Links in the description. Go check that out, guys. Thank you for joining us. See you on
Peace.
Tuesday of next week. Peace.